Future Proof is sponsored by Concordia Dental Healthcare, expert care you can trust.
Hello and welcome to Future Proof. You're watching Sarah Hopwood here in the studio as we continue this business television programme looking at the power of emotional intelligence, future proofing, what does it mean for business owners, employers and indeed students, but also what does it mean for students. And today I have Kat Visor here from a charity, filming in our studio here in Shoreham for Latest Television, and I've actually known Kat for a while, but I'm going to get her to introduce herself and say who she is and what she does. Welcome to the programme, Kat.
Hi Sarah, thank you very much for having me on today.
Yeah, fantastic to see you. So Kat, who are you and what do you do?
So I run a youth charity called Esteem. We're based in Shoreham, and it was founded by my mum, and it's a real it's a piece of work really close to my heart.
Yeah. And so Esteem, first of all, what does that mean? Because it's an acronym, isn't it?
It does. Now you're testing me.
We'll give you some of the words.
It's empowerment is the first most important.
Yeah.
Then we offer support, training, environment and experiences and mentoring.
Yes! Your mum would be very, very proud. Now I do know, because I spent a short time on the board, so I did actually meet you all, and it is a Shoreham based charity. They do amazing work, but what's nice for me is I knew you from a couple of years ago. I haven't had much to do with you in those few years, and the charity just going from strength to strength. Can I ask first of all, why is it close to your heart? Why are you involved?
So my mum started it, as I said, and she was a single mum and really sort of struggled to get it off the ground. Her vision was really big, and she was going to close it down when she ran out of steam, and I decided to take it over and bring in my own outdoor interests of water sports. I'm really into surfing, and I just had a sort of I wanted to start a charity myself anyway, and thought let's just bring the two together. My mum's really focused on personal development, as I am as well. So that's where it came from.
So, and your role has grown and grown. So when I first knew you, you were just beginning to gain a sense of momentum, and I know you were looking at recruitment, but catching up with you just now before filming, it's really doing so well. So you are now properly in place as the CEO, aren't you?
I am, yeah.
And so what staff are you employing now?
Oh, it's an exciting time. We've actually just recruited a new person who's the wellbeing and project manager and safeguarding lead, which is great because I've had all the safeguarding before then, which is quite a lot to deal with, as well as running a charity. So we've got Meredy, and then we've got Emma, who joined a couple of years ago when we were funded by the National Lottery, which was the real instigator of our growth as an organisation. It made a massive difference to us. We've got a project worker, Jinx, who's great, and lots of other staff who do a few bits here and there with drop-ins and things like that, and of course the whole community who volunteers and get involved, and most importantly the young adults themselves, some who we employ who've grown in their experience and confidence, and then others who are volunteering to gain that confidence and grow their skill base.
Yes, and I've met some of those young adults, and before we continue I just want to go back to that lottery funding, because I was involved at that time, and I remember that application went in to the wire. I mean, it was literally like the last seconds and hitting send or what have you to get that application in.
It's a big process,
because the paperwork's quite comprehensive, isn't it?
It took us about 2 years to apply, and I was very fortunate to have Adrian, who sadly passed away, who runs Ada Voluntary Action,
Oh gosh.
And his support, and a friend of mine, Rachel Batten, who's a consultant, with the support of other people we were able to do a really good application to the lottery, and we've never looked back since. The lottery have gave us an extra 10% just recently to fund my role as chief officer, and then that enabled us to give me time to apply for more funding. So we have just secured funding from Henry Smith that pays for my role for 3 years. So that's the biggest weight off my mind.
I bet it is. I bet it is. Now, what I love, and it's very, very close to my heart, is the work that you are working with young adults. And I actually came in and I ran a session, didn't I, somewhere? Was it the Job Centre in Port Slade or something?
Yeah.
And I can't remember what the subject was, but it is very close to my heart. So for years I ran something called Equipping Young Adults for Life. And for me it was where clients used to get me to work with their growing teenage university orientated children who were at a crossroads, and some of them really didn't know what to do or had confidence issues, and I was passionate about equipping young adults for life. And the young adult bit is important to me because they're not children, and it is, to me, it demonstrates how we communicate with them. And I've watched you, that you treat them as equals, don't you, in
Of course, yeah.
every way, shape and form. Exactly, it's not bending down, or you literally are treating them as equals. So much so that you've just done a master's, and your dissertation subject was?
Well, it was a master's from the Institute of Development Studies, which is #1 in the world here in Brighton, and we're doing the course of Power, Participation and Social Change, which is a mouthful but so meaningful, and it's actually changed my way of life because it's about participatory inclusion, participatory action research, and we've been looking at a youth citizenship crisis actually.
Could you tell me more about that?
Yeah,
That's
it's a big subject.
Yes, it is.
And the difference about this master's is that it's from the perspectives of young adults themselves, and so it's a co-research inquiry. I had 2 young adults, Jess and Alex, who have been instrumental in, we worked as a team to do activities and include young adults' voices prominently in the research process, and through the stories that they've shared and their experiences and their really valid knowledge that they can pass on to other people, they've enabled us to discover that there is actually a youth citizenship crisis. Young adults are treated differently in society. They're paid less if they're under 25, they receive lower benefits, they can't vote. They're expected to be transitioning to adulthood, but there's a lot of barriers that they have to overcome, as well as you're well aware, the other social pressures that people are under today.
And so I love the citizenship, the word citizenship. So you had people actively from Esteem joining in with this contribution to that debate?
Yeah.
And did they do it individually, or was it like a panel discussion, or?
No, it's a really different process. It's much more relaxed and fun. There's participatory action research is really about using fun activities or methods that are really interactive. So rather than me interviewing you or giving you a questionnaire to find out what you think, we would have a group discussion, and we might first of all have a discussion, and then I might ask you a question about what's really important to you, and then each person in the discussion would then write down, for example on post-it notes, all of the things that they think are important, and that means each person has their own voice, it's not influenced by other people. Then we put them all on the table and everyone clusters them in groups so that you can see similarities, and then we ask people, we might give them 10 grains of pasta, 10 beans each, and then they would prioritise according to what they believe is the most important, now that they can see the whole group. And it's lots of things like that.
Fantastic. Kat, do stay with me. I hope you're enjoying hearing what Kat has to say about this. There's more to come. And she mentioned to me the title of Our Future Possible Selves. And I wish I'd had that discussion when I was younger to find out, and to inspire myself, I think, and be motivated. So stay with us whilst we hear what Kat has to say about it all. Maybe grab a cuppa. Thank you.
EQ, emotional quotient, is better known as emotional intelligence. It is a tangible tool that can sit alongside your services or your product, and it can be taught. Leaders with high EQ have less stress, they're more effective, and they earn more money. There's a great saying, just because we have pains, it does not give us permission to be a pain. I believe that teaching emotional intelligence has a direct impact on your sense of success and your net profits. EQ will empower you and your workforce to drive the change that you want. Change brings transition. EQ can help unpack what's holding you back and speed up that period of transition.